Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Planescape Torment. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we have a chat here in the smoldering corpse bar with a Laze. Apparently a very muscular man that doesn't really inspire a lot of sympathy, I would say. He's got an air of supercilious arrogance, and that's quite a word that I am not really sure what it means, but there we go. What do you want, he asks. Who are you? I'm a Laze, warrior of renown. Surely you have heard of me? No. Can it truly be? Can it truly be that none in this town have heard of me or my exploits? Alas, I shall have to prove myself all over again. And here I had thought my fame had spread across the world. What world are you from? I come from the city of Aliburn on the river Tame. Surely you have heard of its glories and wonders. No matter. This place is benign and ignorant when it comes to the splendors of true cities. I am told that my land is what is called a prime by the denizens of the city. Though a prime of what, I don't really know. How did you get here? I was chasing my old foe, the villainous life-shade Tyr Tanelel. And he pauses, waiting for acknowledgement, and then continues. He conjured his demonic magic and opened himself a doorway and hurled himself through it. Before he could flee me entirely, I threw myself after him and found myself here. Excuse me. You're one of the clueless. Let's not insult him. I don't think that's... that sounds... Yeah, that sounds like quite an adventure. I had another question for you. What knowledge do you seek? So who are you? Okay, so basically that's what I said before. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, who are the patrons of this tavern? I have met only the elderly Ebb Creekneys who had been instructing me in the ways of the city and the plains. That's not the kind of plains. Anyway, my foe's spell must have catapulted us far across the world, for I know of no plains near our former location. No. Plains, as in planes of existence. They are planes of the imagination, of thought and belief. They're not physical prairies or grasslands, but other dimensions. A look of confusion passes across his face. I understand. What the old man said is starting to make sense. Excuse me, I must think this over. Farewell. Okay. Are you gone? What knowledge do you seek, he asks. Okay, so I can... Okay, I can go back to that, okay. What can you tell me about this place? I do not know. When I arrived here, I realized I needed a place to regain my bearings. Imagine my shock at discovering that even a simple tavern in this part of the world is populated by the eccentrics and crazies. I've truly been transported to a madhouse. Yeah, it certainly seems that way sometimes. Let's not ask about that. I'm looking for a journal. Have you seen one recently? I'm afraid that I have not been searching for such items. I am doing my best to reorient myself to this unfamiliar setting, and while I focus on small details in my attempt to do so, I must confess I have not been looking for journals of any sort. Okay, very well. Thank you for your time. Updated my journal. No, I didn't. Let's have a chat with Barkis. Oh, don't leave your... There's so many people. Barkis? Hello, it's the barkeep. You see a leather-skinned man with just a hint of ashen color to his face. His teeth seem sharper than normal, and his eyes are filled with the boredom that comes with having seen too much. His voice is nasal and clipped. You again, eh? What do you want this time? You again? What do you mean? Yeah, you again. You got a hearing problem or something? Nah. You was in here about 15 years ago, got all bugged up, smashing up the place, and left a pile of coin that wasn't enough to pay for the damages. So you plucked out on your old bleeding eyeball and tell me you'll be back to reclaim it when you go and you got 200 coins together. With 15 years of interest, you got about 500 coins now. You got the jig, pal? I got you an eye. 500 coins, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's the price. Thank you, no pocket. Okay, I'll take it. That's a deal. He produces a darkened, wax-stoppered, wide-mouthed bottle from his pocket. You hear the sound of liquid sloshing around inside it, along with a heavier, squishier noise. Opening it, the stench of some sort of preservative agent nearly makes you gag. Floating in the viscid? What? I don't know that word. Viscid muck. What is that? Is that... it means fluid? Anyway, in the muck is an eyeball. Yeah, he's talking. You'd better figure out what you want to do with that. Now you expose it to the air, you might as well put a pickled egg in the jar for all the good it'll do you. Make up your mind, Cutter. Pickled egg or not? Well, I'm gonna tear out my eyeball and place this one in the socket. Yeah, let's go with that. With a moment's hesitation, you reach into your socket and pop your eye into the palm of your hand. Sure. The bartender helpfully serves or severs the optic nerve. The word there that caught me was helpfully. And directs your hand to the jar of goo that sits on the bar. You deposit your eye in the preservative, wrap your fingers around the old one, and slide it into your empty socket. The pain of this entire operation is incredible. After a moment, I don't know if they, I don't. After a moment, though, you can feel the optic nerve reattaching itself to this new eye, and suddenly you are hit by a flash of memory. I don't really understand if this is, because. I've mentioned this before. Each time we do something terrible like this, and we have been doing some pretty terrible things. I mean, we've been cut open by Marta. We have let somebody eat our arm or something. We have cut out our finger with our own mouth, even though we have scalpels and all that sort of stuff. Now we have removed our eye, and he's cut the optic nerve. I don't even. If I was writing this, I don't understand why they didn't write this in a more, because you just need to add a couple of adjectives that regard to pain, like for example, with a moment of dreadful hesitation. It's as simple as that, or dreadful probably isn't the best word to be used. It's kind of commonplace, but you reach into your socket, and as you feel your hands with your eye or something, you pop it out of your hand and into your hand, and just you could make this more visceral. As it stands, it's only this sentence. And if this wasn't here, you'd think that, just common thing, I'm removing my eye. Because I've done that before, that's the thing. So I don't really know why they do this. I don't know, because the impression I get is that my character feels pain, but doesn't care. It's just like, yeah, whatever. Because that's pretty much what it is. Oh, that hurt so much. Yeah, but whatever. You know what I mean? Because pain is a very psychological thing. It affects us. The prospect of pain is very, very real. The pain itself affects us for a long, long time after we feel the pain, depending on the pain and on the situation. So, I don't know why they didn't make it more obviously painful, that it is being painful, but yeah, whatever. Let's see what happens. The pain of this entire operation is incredible. After a moment, though, you can feel the optic nerve, and after a moment, though, as in, whichever the case, you can feel the optic nerve reattaching itself to this new eye, which would be incredibly painful in and of itself, right there. And suddenly you are hit by a flash of memory. Okay, let's absorb it. The memory flash, a vast expanse of chaotic, ever-changing wasteland, stretching before you. A group of humanoid vultures, man, plummeting towards you, cruel weapons ready to strike, and your own shining blade clutched tight in your fist. There's another memory flash. Three toughs? I don't know what a tough is. Tough guys, I suppose, surround you in the colors of an enemy you can't quite place. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know what tough is. I don't know what that is. Long daggers glisten in their hands, and the light glints cruelly from their exposed teeth. You glance at your scarred hands and know that soon they'll be covered in blood. Because I'm gonna kill them? An enormous frog-like creature comes bounding over through and under chaos stuff, headed for you with a mouthful of teeth. You hurl your javelin through the shifting matter, and pin the creature to a sudden stone plinth. What is a sudden stone plinth? What? Anyway, you have recalled some of your lost fighting skills. Oh, okay. Let's ask more questions of this guy. Proficiency points increased permanently. Hurry it up, will you? I got paying customers. Yeah, so who are you? Me? I'm Barkis, owner and keeper of this place. What is this place? Didn't you see the sign out front? Didn't you see the burning over the furnace when you came in? It's a smoldering corpse, Cutter. Best damn bub house in Sigil. At least it's the best damn bub house in this part of the hive, which makes it one of the best in Sigil. Hell, they got fancy places with plants and such in the ladies' ward, and they got fiendish taverns salted around the rest of the hive, but none of them got the character of the smoldering corpse. Yeah, who is the corpse anyway? Him? Ignis. He used to be a flame wizard, burned down the piece of hive, and got himself scragged by a bunch of other mages. You want to know more about him? Go talk to Drusilla down there by the door. Yeah, yeah, okay. Can I ask anything else? Yeah, no. What can you tell me of the patrons here? I don't make it a point to interfere with the lives of people who give me their hard-earned jink unless they ask me to. So, over there is Candrian, Planewalker. He's a good one to talk to about any plane-walking questions you might have. He's been pretty much everywhere. Down there is Eb Creekneys, an old Harmonian basher. Don't hold that against him, and a tout as well. He's got a good heart on him, and he knows Sigil up and down. Them fiends over there are Ethelgreen and Tegarin. Word of advice, don't deal with them. They might be low rankers in the fiend hierarchy, but they're still fiends. Then you got Ilkix over here, or over there. I think it's this guy over here. Let's see. Then you got Ilkix. Where? I lost him. Yeah. Ilkix over there, not trustworthy. And some mercy killers looking for some poor sod. Dak'kon, the Gitzerai, is a mystery to me. Don't know much about him. He don't talk much. Finally, you interested in earning some free bub? Yeah. Well, there's a bubber over against the far wall, hanging about in the shadows, who's been trying to work up her courage to sleep out without covering her tab. I want you to make sure she don't do that. You do it, you got free bub here for life. Sure, I'll do it. But answer some questions first. Hurry it up, will you? Yeah, so, I'm looking for a journal. A journal? Paper and words? Friend, that sort of thing don't get much stock down here in the Hive. Folks here can barely read the sign above the door, much less an entire journal. If you're looking for a journal, you do better to have a system instead of asking folks willy-nilly. To have a system? Why would you be so passive-aggressive right there with that thanks for the unasked for advice? Advice is advice, man. Just take it. Shut up. Very well. Good day.
I feel stronger.
Oh, yeah. Especially because we leveled up. Okay, then we have the... whatever those guys are. Oh, over there. Okay, what is this? These sturdy pylons support the ramshackle roof, but these don't. Okay, what is this thing back here? Can I go in? Hello, what is this? This once functional door is now nailed shut and barred on the inside to protect against thieves. Oh, okay. I suppose that's a good defense mechanism. Let's have a chat with Dak'kon, see what he has to say. The man before you is old. His dry yellow skin has the scars of one who has traveled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular, and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitting orange tunic. I like him already. He wears orange. And a strange shimmering blade is strapped across his back. Yeah, I saw that. The blade looks to be a two-pronged glaive, made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil on a pond. Greetings. The man turns to you, his eyes polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead, flat black, mirroring the man's eyes. Are you alright?
Hail, traveler.
Hail. But I'm gonna read what he says. He says nothing for a moment, merely searches your face with his eyes, and then says what he says. His voice is quiet and somber, like a wind whispering through the branches of a great tree. Hail.
Your eyes are the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
Oh, I've heard that line before. This guy's important, isn't he? The man meets your gaze, his eyes burrowing into yours. His weapon drains of its black color, resuming its shimmering. You noticed before you spoke to him. You have the eyes... your eyes have the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place. So basically you came from afar. Yeah, you could say that. The man's gaze does not waver from yours. I am known as Dak'kon. The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time. You are not known to me. Yeah, I do not know myself. That is for the best. In knowing yourself, there would be little in the plains left worth knowing. He falls silent for a moment, still studying you with coal-black eyes. I would know why you have come to this city. Yeah, so would I, to be honest. I'm looking for answers. Have many questions. Speak your questions. I will hear you. Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you? A Gitzerai. A Gitzerai? A Gitzerai is one of the people. Again, one of the people? A Gitzerai. Yes, but what are the Gitzerai exactly? Dak'kon is silent for a moment, then speaks. Our history does not need to be made known to you. We would bleed to death on Time's blade before I recited a fraction of the histories of our people. Yeah, but that's not really what a historian does, is it? I don't need to know your histories, but I would know of your people as they are now. Dak'kon is silent for a moment. Know this and accept it as an answer. We are the people who make our home upon the shifting plains of limbo. With a deft motion, Dak'kon slips the blade from his back and holds it before him. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. What? There, we mold the matter of limbo with our minds. We forge cities with our thoughts. As you watch a series of rippling waves of metal begin to roll forth from the center of the blade, the pitch and crest of the waves match the inflections in Dak'kon's voice. In its chaos we dwell, with only our knowing to preserve us. We are the Gitzerai. Yeah, but what is that blade you have? It moved, shifted in response to your voice. It is a Karak blade. It is an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. What does that mean? Dak'kon falls silent for a moment as if searching for the correct words. In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. The people may shape it with their thoughts. Oh, that's right! We read about this guy before. About the chaotic neutral planes of limbo. And that's where the Gitzerai come from. And they can indeed shape things. Shape it with their thoughts. Karak is not shaped by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface and in its edge. When one knows themselves, the blade is strong, harder and stronger than steel. When one does not know themselves, the blade is as water, formless and weak. Okay, that's interesting. Are you willing to sell it? It would become as nothing in the hands of another. The blade knows my mind, and I know its heart. We die the same death. Okay, well, thank you. Okay, so I can ask about the people again. So I can go back there, because I thought... It's made of a strange metal. It's almost hypnotic the way it shifts back and forth. Dak'kon falls silent for a moment. Okay, so the people. The Gitzerai, okay. Okay, I can't ask... Okay. Can you tell me about this city? It is known by the name Sigil. Among the people, it is known as the city that does not know itself. Among your people? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't know itself? What do you mean? The city exists, but it does not know itself. In not knowing itself, its existence is flawed. How? The city exists in opposition to itself. It has set itself apart from the plains, yet it seeks to be everywhere at once. Its walls are doors, yet it keeps these doors locked. Such an existence tells of a thing that does not know itself. In not knowing itself, it is flawed. Okay, I follow his logic, but it's not necessarily true. Because there's an assumption somewhere in there that I can't really point to. I think it's in, the city tells of a thing that does not know, in not knowing itself. No, that's the assumption, yeah. Okay, so that's the conclusion, which is okay. Such an existence, this is the assumption over here. Such an existence, which is proven, you know, it's to be on many portals and they're all locked, tells of a thing that does not know itself. Does it really? Does it? Because it could be on purpose. It could be on purpose. But anyway, let's see what we have over here. What if the city is not flawed? Okay. A thing does not need to be ordered and have a purpose to know itself. Well, that's true. That's true. What if the contradictions are strengths that you cannot see? Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying, but not really in the same light. Let's see what the other one is. What if the city is not flawed and you just do not know the reasons for its contradictions? That's probably more what I was gonna say. There is order in everything. Perhaps there is an underlying pattern that you cannot perceive. Actually, I don't think that's a little bit too lawful there. I don't think there's order in everything. I think precisely the opposite, actually. In the world of Dungeons and Dragons, it might be argued otherwise, but the thing is, order is nothing. The only order is nothing, void, the non-existence. That's the only order. And this is sometimes used as a sort of a meta thing, where just, oh, I am the most lawful thing. I'm gonna destroy everything because only through oblivion can we achieve to balance into whatever. That's true, but the problem is entropy is everything. information is entropy. Information is non-order. Otherwise, it's not information. If it's ordered, you can, you know, bring it down to like an algorithm. Imagine, just think of a blank sheet of paper, like a perfectly blank sheet of paper. That's order right there. There's no chaos. There's no information. You know what I mean? So there's. And in that, it's nothing, because you just say it's a blank sheet of paper. There's nothing there. But if you add information to it, the more chaotic it is, the more information there is, even if you don't see the patterns. Especially if you don't see the patterns, because if you see patterns, you're going to be able to, you know, compress that information. There's actually videos about this. I can't really explain this too well. If you know what I'm talking about, then that's what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, feel free to comment in the comments, and I might give you a link to a video that I remember watching this that explained much better than what I'm saying right now. But yeah, entropy is information, and so I'm gonna go with this first one, which is a little bit less. It's more towards what I personally believe in. So let's go with this one. Yeah, let's just go with that. To your question, a question. What if the city is flawed and you see its contradictions all around you? What if the city is flawed? My question is, what if the city is not flawed? He's just bringing. He's not really saying. That's not. He's not bringing. What? I made a very precise. I asked for I asked what this is. This is what's called a rhetoric question. And I am not a big fan of that, but in this case it actually makes sense, because this is the assumption. Such an existence tells of having... Basically, this is the assumption that I was having a problem with. So I asked him to establish a connection between what if these contradictions are... between the contradictions that are perceived, and whether or not it's flawed or not, or if there are strengths, or if they are... if they're not strengths. So what he's saying is, again... contradictions. It's not actually bringing the discussion any ahead at all. It's just ignoring what I asked. It's not delivering a justification, a connection between those two things. The contradictions that he sees, and sure, whatever, we can talk about them. Its contradiction is really just a defining term. It's not really anything. But and the fact that it makes the city flawed. But anyway, apparently this is the biggest one, so I'm going with that. To your question, a question. You claim this city's existence is flawed. You have accepted this rather than explore the possibility that something greater may exist. Yeah, that lies at the heart of this whole problem. That suggests you are flawed, and that you do not search for knowledge, but only for a convenient answer. Yeah, that's really ad hominem, really. You're attacking him, not his argument. Because, I mean, I can't... he doesn't have an argument, really, but let's see what I can do with that. Dak'kon falls silent. There is no knowing the answer to the questions we have asked, yet the city exists. That is all. Yeah, yet I would maintain that we know ourselves by the questions we ask, and the ones we do not. Oh, that's a very good point. If we cease asking questions and accept only what we can perceive, then we will cease to know ourselves, says Dak'kon. And his voice has changed slightly, it's become heavier. Such words have been spoken before. I have heard them and know them. Where have you heard them? The words are mine. Once I knew them and knew their meaning. I had forgotten them until you spoke. Dak'kon's gaze travels through you, and his blade stops shimmering, bleeding of all color until it is translucent. There is a moment of silence, then Dak'kon looks up at you. I would travel your path with you. Oh! I figured he was a companion because everybody kept asking me to find Dak'kon, that I really should. And this is the fighter that I need. But I wasn't expecting this to be the way we recruit him. And actually, the brilliant thing about this, and I'm not sure if the game is going to touch on that, but the brilliant thing about this is that my question, even though it started with what could be perceived as a sort of a lawful alignment, in the end, there's little more chaotic than this truism. Let's say it's a truism. I'm not really sure if it is, but this idea that the questions that we asked define ourselves rather than the answers that we choose rather than the answers that we choose. And I think that's very true. I think that is just beautiful. I think that's just awesome. Yeah. I accept. An extra blade would be welcome.
Your path is mine.
Strangely enough, his voice seems distant, and it echoes as if he was speaking from across a great distance. Very well. Excuse the hiccup. Very well. Let's go. It's the beer that I drank before over there. And I gained 1,000 experience just from getting him. Hi. Can I look at your statistics screen? Oh, boy. Oh, man. Hey, Morty. We got friends in here. Oh, boy. Well, let's level up. I have spell memorization abilities have increased, 0 characteristic points gained, 1 hit point gained. Okay, good stuff. So let's go into my spell book. What? Oh, that's Dak'kon. Oh my god, what is this? I have an extra chromatic orb right there. I'm gonna keep 2 in identify things. I'm gonna put 2 strengths. Can I? Oh no, I don't have more. I do have one over here, but I don't have space for any of that. Dak'kon, the Unbroken Circle of Zerthimon. The small round stone is the Unbroken Circle of Zerthimon. The Unbroken Circle is a Zerth religious text containing teachings of Zerthimon, the founder of the Githzerai people. The circle is made up of a series of interlocking circles that fold out from one another, depending on which branch the reader wishes to follow in the true path of teachings. It is said that some Zerths spend years poring over the combinations of the plates, looking for new significance in the teachings. Okay, I can't really do anything with it. Okay, sure. What is it?
I cannot part with that.
I wasn't... The Whispering Flask. +2 strength. This container holds a peculiar powder called Whispering Motes. Loose translation of the Gith expression. A form of healing powder. Oh. Is it? Oh, it's extra 2 strength. I wonder if it has uses. It probably does. Well, let's find out.
That cannot be, guys.
Yeah, it's gone. Okay, let's just reload. Anyway, we're out of time for the day, so, yeah, that's gonna be that for right now. I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Planescape Torment. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for telling me to come over here and get Dak'kon, to those of you that did tell me. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye!